YouTube video, and today we are here with a brand new client, and she's gonna let me do some short duck nails on her. Now, I know some of y'all don't like duck nails, but these nails actually came out really cute, and I told y'all they was short, so y'all stick around and see how they came out and how I did them. So these nails were inspired by another artist. I'm going to show you guys what the original photo looks like. Now, for the most part, we did copy this set exactly, but I didn't have everything the nail tech had in this photo, so we did make it work. I'm currently using this 180 grit sanding band to start to lightly file the surface of my client's nails, pushing the dead skin back and removing any skin that's on the natural nail plate. Remember, you want to do this lightly. You don't want to remove too many layers of the natural nail plate because over time, this will cause you an issue. Moving on, I'm currently using my cuticle nippers to remove any dead skin that's sticking up. When I was using the sanding band, it pushed back the dead skin, so I was easily able to tell the difference between the living skin and the dead tissue that I pushed back. Take your time when you're doing this, girl. You do not want to accidentally cut your client. It just, not that it ruins the appointment, but it's definitely going to delay the appointment. And I like to have my 15-minute breaks in between my appointments. So I try my hardest to make sure I stay on schedule. And the last thing I need to see is any blood. So I told y'all earlier we was going to be doing some duck nails again. Now the last set of nails I posted was some duck nails, and those came out real cute, so I was real excited to do these again. Now these duck nail tips did come from Amazon, and I did cut them down so that they would be a shorter length. Currently for prep, I'm using some 90% alcohol as my dehydrator. I'm just fanning that out until it completely dry. Afterwards, I'm going in with 1 coat of my Young Nails Protein Bond and then 1 coat of my No Lift Primer. And the name of the No Lift Primer is literally No Lift. I get that question a lot. I'm gonna link it down below. You guys are gonna see what I'm talking about. For my application today, I'll actually be using some of Young Nails acrylic powder. Now, I don't use their powder too often, but today I'm using Cover Flamingo, I believe it's called. It is this very, very pretty pink color. It's kind of like a soft pink with a hint of nude. I do really like it, and I did start off with a medium-sized bead to cover up the nail tip. Now, what I will say about duck nails is you want to make sure that application is as perfect as possible so that later when it's time to reshape these nails, you're not overthinking the reshaping process. These nails are already kind of a funny shape, so you really don't want to have to overthink reshaping them, and that was my biggest issue when I first was getting into duck nails. For the cuticle bead, I do let this bead be just a little runny, not too much, but just enough for it to flow into the cuticle area without me having to actually use the tip of my brush to push it forward. For me, doing it this way is much easier, and if you're somebody that has trouble with picking up different size beads, or even understanding what's the difference between a runny bead, a wet bead, and a runny bead, a wet bead, a runny bead and a dry bead, I do actually have a YouTube tutorial where I go over picking up different size beads, and I actually show how it looks when the acrylic powder is too runny, when it's too dry, and when it's just right. So I will link that down below. For these duck nails, we still do have to give them an apex area. I do want to make sure that these don't break, so I did go in with this clear acrylic powder for me, a secret. As I'm doing this acrylic application, I would love to know how you guys feel about Young Nails acrylic powder. I'm really not too informed on their brand. Like, I don't even know if they have other colors besides like cover colors. Really not too sure, but if they do, let me know down below. And even if they don't, how do you guys feel about their powder? Now, I definitely like the consistency of their powder. It didn't marble, which I hate acrylic powder that marbles, so that was perfect. And I really felt like it worked well with the Mia's Secret monomer. I know sometimes mixing brands really won't work too well, but Mia's Secret is definitely top tier. I love using Mia's Secret. It's actually the only monomer I've been buying for some years. There has been times where I tried out other monomers which were okay, but I feel like the fact that Mia's Secret is really good and it's on Amazon, it's very convenient. So I did want to go over cuticle application just one more time. I did pick up a medium-sized bead and I'm going to place it directly on top of where I placed the previous one. I'm holding the fingernail down and I'm going to lightly start to press the acrylic powder up. But you guys see that I didn't have to press going too far back. The acrylic powder did all of the work, and the only thing I have to do is get this smooth and then clean up anything that possibly touched the skin. Moving on, for reshaping these nails, I am using a medium grit drill bit, and I'm going to first start off in the cuticle area. I am going very, very slowly, and eventually I'm going to start to work on the apex area. I'm going to start to file that down if needed. Definitely don't want that to be too high. And then I'm going to make my way down to the bottom and the free edge of the nail. Even though these are duck nails and they are a unrealistic nail shape, I still need them to look as seamless as possible, making sure I focus a lot of my attention in the cuticle area. Now, if you had a very thin cuticle application, you won't have to go over as many times, but sometimes I just want to make sure that they are sealed nicely, because making sure that you seal the cuticles properly is one of the main things that's going to prevent lifting. When I was finished with sealing the cuticle area, I did go in with my 80/80 grit hand file to start to reshape these sidewalls. And I'm going to angle my nail file at the same angle that these duck nail tips are going, because I don't want to accidentally make these nails a wide square. We do not want that. I'm also going on the surface of the nails using my 80/80 grit hand file just to get them super smooth. Now, you could do this with the drill bit, but I do prefer to do this with my hand file. This is something that I like to do. And when I'm finished shaping these nails, I am going to have to go underneath the free edge to give it the C-curve look. Because, of course, as I was starting to file these down, the bottom of the nail did start to look thick. So far, these is coming out real cute. Now, I know in my last video, I was getting a bunch of comments saying, oh, the nail design is cute, but the shape is ugly. Look, y'all, duck nails is trending. They might be here to stay for a little while, and I'm actually feeling them. They've grown on to me a lot. If you don't like them, I definitely understand, because I did not like them at first neither. Very quickly, I am going to start to buff her nails nice and smooth, and I'm going to have my client wash her hands before we continue with our designs. For the designs today, we're going to be starting out with French tip, just a plain French tip. And this gel polish was a mixture between a hot pink D&D gel polish and a D&D white French tip polish, because I didn't have the exact pink that I wanted, but I knew I wanted a light pink base with hot pink designs. Me personally, I feel like doing French tips on a shorter nails are a little easier, just a little. Hand painted French tips are not as easy as they look. I don't think painting French tips or doing acrylic French tips are easy at all. And I actually think it's funny that people think a plain French tip set should be pretty cheap. Let's keep in mind that when you went to the nail salon back in the day to get French tip nail, and they probably just placed a white nail tip on your natural nail plate and put some clear acrylic or like a light pink base on top and pretty much told you to go. There was no hand paint. They could have been hand painting them, but not how we doing it now. I think it's completely different. And I do feel like as a nail tech, we are consistently getting compared to traditional nail salons, which when I first started doing nails, this was something that really bothered me. But now I have no problem letting a client know, hey, this is not that over here. And you could try to go to a nail salon to get this, but you may not like them. And you may actually pay more. People often will comment under my post about nail prices and will be like, the nail salon would never charge that much. Oh no. If you ask them for it, they will. But I cannot guarantee that you're going to like your nails. And that's not to down all salons, but y'all know sometimes these salons don't be caring. And nail salons are express services. Like, they are not trying to sit there and do all this really tedious design work. They need to get you in and get you out for the next person to come. So if you wasting their time, or not really wasting, but if you taking a lot of their time, they're going to pay for it. Currently, I am still stressed out painting these hand painted French tips. You guys see that I'm constantly going back to the smile line just to make sure it's as perfect as possible. And I feel like no matter how many times I hand paint French tips, I could say it slightly gets a little easier, but it's still tedious to do because you just want to make sure that they all look identical. On top of our cute hand-painted Frenchies, I am going to go in with this reflective hot pink gel polish. Now, this gel polish is from a cart, and when I purchased it, it did come in a kit, I believe, with multiple disco gels. Now, enough of my rambling. It is finally time to start adding these rhinestones. Now, I am using my Azule Bling Glue to apply these stones. And for the charms that are a little larger, I am going to use more of this glue. I also added some pink pearls, some light pink crystals that I got from Blue Street Crystal. These are Priosa crystals. And honestly, I get most of my charms from Amazon. If I didn't get them from Amazon, then they are from Totally Nail Supplies. I do have a code if you guys are interested from shopping there. And those are really the only two stores I buy charms from. But for the most part, girl, go on Amazon. For the butterfly charm, I do make sure I use extra glue. Y'all seen I put a drop of glue on there. And even after I top coat these nails, I actually place some of the top coat in the center of the charm since the charm has openings because I really want to make sure that these charms stick. My thing with the nail charms is I try my best to make sure that they don't come off at all so that when you come back, you're not telling me, oh, I would love to get charms again, but last time they were falling off. Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't like to hear that. So I make sure that these stones are going to stay on for at least 3 to 4 weeks. With these nails, as I was starting to finish up, I was starting to just add my own spin to things. I was looking at the picture, but not really at this point. Like, we had already got the concept down, and these were coming out really pretty. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about these. I know some of y'all don't like duck nails, but y'all can't tell me these are not the cutest little pink nails. These are super cute. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this YouTube video. As always, I enjoyed teaching you guys how to do this. I enjoyed my client, and I'm very grateful that she traveled to come and see me today. So if you did enjoy this YouTube video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I'm going to see you in my next one.